Here are my 5 favourite filler activities to do in the classroom. Sometimes you can be stood in front of your class with a bit of time to fill, and sometimes hangman isn't quite cutting it anymore. You need some new active games to keep your class engaged and focused for 5-10 minutes whilst you're waiting to transition into your next subject, or maybe you're waiting for assembly or PE or break, whatever it is. You've got a few minutes left and you need to fill that time, and here are 5 of the best games to do that. Firstly, one of my favourite games is called 3 Dice. This was a game that I kind of adapted over a few different years, but basically you need either 3 dice in this or just have 1 dice that you can roll 3 times. The first roll you do will determine how many players you have in this game. So out of your class of say 30 children, if you roll a 5, that means that you've got 5 children that are going to come up and take part in this game. They're going to be the performers or the players in this game. The second dice you roll gives your performers, your 5 students, that's how many seconds they have to create something. Now this something is something that you're going to pick. It can be related to a topic that you're studying, it can be a character, it can be a historical figure, whatever it is. You're going to either whisper it to your players or show it on a piece of paper, but make sure that the rest of the class do not see it or cannot hear it and do not know what it is that they're making. Because the third dice is going to determine how many guesses the rest of the class get to try to work out what it is that these people are. So if you roll a 5 to start with, you might pick 5 children out of your class to come up and make, say for example, the Egyptian pyramid to fit in with your ancient Egypt topic. You might roll again and get a 3. That means that your 5 students have got 3 seconds to create a pyramid. And then the third time you roll, you might get a 2. That means that the rest of the class have got 2 guesses to try to work out what it is that they're making. You can keep this going, keep repeating it, pick different words of course, and this can go on indefinitely, but it's really fun, really good way of reminding your class about certain topics, ideas, characters and historical figures. The second game is a favourite. It's called Boggle and it's really fun. It's a really great way of getting your kids involved in English and spelling. So if you've never played Boggle before, it's basically a 4x4 square grid with a different letter in each square, and you have to try to create as many words as you can by joining up the letters and creating as many words as you can, and then the longest words you can. This is a really fun game, and there are lots of websites out there that you can just type into and it will create this for you and you can project up on your board. Really fun, really quick, really simple, and a really good way of introducing spellings and language to those 5-minute filler sessions. Thirdly, we have elephants. This is absolutely my favourite game of all time. I have actually made a full video about elephants which you can go and watch so you can get a clearer idea of how to play it and the different rules. But basically you get your class in a big circle and you need to try and hit the tennis ball between the other players' legs to try to get them out. This is really fun. It does require a bit of space to do this, so maybe this is something you can do if you're outside on a nice day, or if you're inside and just done PE or drama or something like that, or if you're in the sports hall. This is something that you need a lot of space for, but it's an excellent game and a lot of fun and a great way to fill some of that time up. Fourthly, we have rock, paper, scissors. Not the traditional rock, paper, scissors, but an adaptation of that where you can use the topics that you've been learning in the day or the term to influence how you pick your different options. So it's not going to be rock, paper, scissors. I've done it before where we've had Loki, Thor and Odin, the Viking god. You can also have characters from stories that you're reading, or whatever it is you want to do. You can pick 3 different characters. This will take a bit of planning because you'll need to know beforehand what you're doing, but it's quite important to get the class involved in picking the action and the relationship, so which beats which in this dynamic, because that is a great way of getting the kids to think about certain topics, certain characters and their relationships to one another. So the last thing I have to recommend is called Be At One. This is less of a game and more of like a wind down thing. If you've had a bit of a hectic morning and it's been a bit busy and the focus has been everywhere, you can take this as a quick 5-minute game. Basically you get the kids all to close their eyes and take in a deep breath to kind of calm them down a bit, and the aim of the game is to count up to 20. This is something that sounds really, really simple, but the kids aren't allowed to discuss amongst themselves who's going to say what, and they're only allowed to say one number at a time. So one child might say 1, then another's going to say 2, 3, 4. It's going to go around the room like that randomly, except if 2 children speak at the same time. So if 2 children both say the number at the same time, you have to start again. So this means that sometimes there's some long pauses because people don't want to talk at the same time, but it's also about being aware of other people in the room and just taking time to relax. And it's kind of like a game, but it's just mainly a way just to calm down your class and get them listening and focused and ready for the next part of the day. Hopefully you found one of these games interesting or useful. If you've played one of these before, if you've got a different variation of it, please do let me know. I'd love to have a conversation with you about that. We've got loads of fun stuff happening with Blue Kazoo over the next few months, so keep your eyes peeled, especially about our video series, which is going really, really well. We can't wait to show you that over the summer. So yes, do stay tuned, get onto our Facebook, our Twitter, onto our website, and keep up to date with everything that's happening. And I shall see you very, very soon. Goodbye.